Okay, everybody, this video here is going to blow your mind. I've been researching this for quite a few hours now, and I've just totally lost my mind over this. This is incredible. I have never come across anything like this, and not being able to find anyone who has a logical explanation for it either. So yesterday, my son, he starts asking me some questions. He's asking me, well, how do you spell Bernstein Bears, Dad? And how do you spell Looney Tunes? And stuff like this. And so I told him, and I got everything wrong. And so he's telling me, he says, well, this is called the Mandela Effect, Dad. It has to do with parallel universes and the fabric of reality having shifted or overlapped with another reality. I couldn't believe what I was hearing from my 13-year-old boy. And frankly, I didn't believe most of what he was saying. So I have spent years listening to David Icke, Michael Tsarian, Jordan Maxwell, Mark Passio. Not because I believe everything that these guys say, but they help me put things in perspective because I haven't felt like things were right ever since 9/11. In 2001, I thought that I was waking up to reality, or, I thought I was. But after doing all this research on the Mandela Effect, I can't help but feel our current reality is different and has changed from the one that I was once part of. Now, I know this sounds crazy, but stick with me. You're going to want to check this out. I'm going to ask you some questions, and we're going to go through this, and your mind's going to be blown. I'm telling you. Mine was. I know it is. I know yours is going to blow your mind. Watch. Okay, so something really strange here is going on. And not everyone remembers everything. There's a lot of these. I'm just going to point out maybe about, 15 to 20 that stick out for me. But there's a lot of other ones, I didn't even know the people, so they didn't make much sense for me. So I not putting them in this video. But you can check that out on your own. Anyway, everything just kind of seems upside down to me, and things just don't seem right anymore. So there's something going on here. So let's start off with why it's called the Mandela Effect. He asked me, when did Nelson Mandela die? And I said, well, I think he died like in the 80s in prison. I remember that. But then I also remember he died not too long ago, so I was kind of confused. So then he says, well, he died in December 2013, Dad. And I said, oh, okay. Well, I have a thought of him dying a lot earlier. And then he started in with this. This is how this whole thing came about in about September of last year. And I can't believe I didn't find out about it till now. But anyway, Bernstein Bears. I remember it always being Bernstein Bears, Stein. I read these books as kids. I probably had this book right here, The Bear's Vacation. I don't remember Bernstein. Like a stain on your shirt. I would have remembered Bernstein. Well, that's not what I remember them being called. They were the Bernstein Bears, not Bernstein. So there were people arguing about this. And you go look at all the old, this is a picture of an old book right here from probably the 70s. It's got AIN. Okay, so here we go. Let's get into this here. I'm going to ask you a question, and just whatever the first thought that comes to mind is, it's probably the one you're going to want to go with because you haven't thought about this in a long time. So let's go with Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, which I'm sure a lot of you know. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. But is it? A beautiful day in the neighborhood. That's what I remember. Well, apparently, that's not what he says. So let's listen to what he says.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. A beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. Okay, that just doesn't seem right to me. I don't remember it that way. It could have always been that way, but that's not what I remember. Okay, so let's move on. This next one is more compelling because of what goes along with it. Now, here's a video on YouTube from 2011. Forrest Gump. Life is like a box of chocolate. I remember that. They titled it, Life is like a box of chocolate. Well, let's see what he says. You know, you never know what you're going to get. Mama says life's like a box of chocolate. All right, let's hear what he says.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
My mama always says life was like a box of chocolates. That doesn't make any sense. It was like a box of chocolates. It is like a box of chocolates. So I go look at Google search here. Life is like a box of chocolates. Life is like a box of chocolates. Life is like a box of chocolates. How do all these people get the quote wrong? It's one of the most famous quotes in a movie. Life is like a box of chocolates. Life is like a box of chocolates here. Life is like a box of chocolates. Okay, you get the point. Now, there are some, you go further down, it say was. Because that's what the movie says. Life was like a box of chocolates. Here you go here. So, all right, this is crazy. I remember it being is. Life is like a box of chocolates. I mean, that's what I remember. Even the person titled it here. And then you go down here, there's people commenting saying, look, they got the title of this video wrong. Where's it at? Well, all these people are freaked out. They're talking about the Mandela effect here. He's not saying life is like a box of chocolate. He's saying life was. Yeah, but for those of us, Reese here could be a young kid. I don't know. Younger people, they don't seem to have these memories, obviously, because they weren't around when this came out. They maybe were just babies or something. Okay, so let's move on. Okay. Now, I know a lot of you are going to remember this one. I mean, everybody knows this line. I heard it my whole life. Blank, I am your father. From Star Wars. What did he say? Blank, I am your father. I remember him saying, Luke, I am your father. Well, that's not what he said. We go look at the movie. If you have the VHS original movie, go put it in. He doesn't say Luke. Here's the movie. Try and prove any of this wrong, anybody. Here's the movie.
Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
He told me enough. He told me you killed him.
No, I am your father.
No, I am your father. That's not how I remember the movie, but I guess I just mistaken. I thought it was something else all this time. All right, so moving along, let me ask you this. You ever use Febreze to freshen up the air and, your furniture, your couch, your carpet, whatever? Okay. I always thought it was Febreze, 2 E's. Or is it Febreze? What do you remember it being? I can't find any images on Google where it's got 2 E's. Everything is Febreze. Febreze, which looks weird to me. Does it look weird to you? I don't know. Looks weird to me. All right, this next one is really odd. The creator of Peanuts, Charlie Brown. Is his last name Schultz or is it Scholes? I remember it being Schultz. But for some reason, it's Schulz now. Let's go look. Charles M. Scholes. Okay. I don't remember that being his name. I remember it being Schultz. So let's go. I brought up a Google Trends here. This is a little interesting here. Okay, so this is what it is now. Charles Scholes. I remember it being Schultz with a T. Okay, so on Google Trends, Charles Schultz, people were looking for Schulz and the T, the ULTZ, about the same during 07, 08, 09. But as we get closer to 2011, 2012, a lot fewer folks are searching for the TZ. And here it's almost, 4 to 1. Almost, 4.5 to 1. people are looking for the ULZ now. So this is kind of odd here. Are your memories of Oscar M-E-Y-E-R or Oscar M-A-Y-E-R? Seems like I remember M-E-Y-E-R. But you can't find M-E-Y-E-R anywhere. Even these old images. Oscar Mayer, M-A-Y-E-R, everywhere. New stuff, old stuff. It just doesn't look right to me. Mayer. It just doesn't look right. I did a Google trend on this. The Mayer, M-A-Y-E-R. They're looking for the M-E-Y-E-R in 2005. More people were looking for that because that's what I remember. You know, a lot of this stuff, see now, over time here, you know, way fewer people are looking for the E-Y-E-R. And the A-Y-E-R kind of took over. I thought they changed the name. Like Jiffy peanut butter. I thought it was Jiffy. I bought it and I you know, a month ago, I bought some peanut butter. Hadn't had any for a long time, and it says J-I-F, Jif. Oh, wow, they changed the label, I thought to myself. I didn't think much of it after that. And then, you know, I look at all this stuff, and there never, ever was a Jiffy. There was Skippy, but I remember Jiffy peanut butter. It's always been Jif. You go look, it's J-I-F on all the old bottles in the 60s. All right, really crazy. I don't know what's going on here, everybody. This is just really odd. And I know a lot of you are going to feel the same way. I just know it because I have these memories. A lot of people have these memories. Here's a newer one. Oreos double stuff. Is it S-T-U-F-F or S-T-U-F? I remember 2 F's. Well, I guess there's always been 1 F. This is an old picture. You can look at the newer pictures. Everything is 1 F. 1 F. The newer ones are 1 F. So, yeah, here's a newer packaging. Double stuff. S-T-U-F. I mean, seems like it was just stuff like weeks ago. S-T-U-F-F. I mean, I don't know. What's going on here? Did CERN, like, open up some portal or some wormhole or something and, like, change the space-time continuum? Are we on some other timeline? I mean, what's going on here? Or am I just losing it? I know I'm not losing it because I did a lot of research and there were a lot of people who agreed with me on Facebook and stuff. And Facebook, usually, they don't care about the stuff that I talk about, but this is normal stuff. I haven't even really started questioning people. I'm going to call my brother up tonight and I'm going to say, hey, how did they spell Looney Tunes when you were a kid? You know, my brother had, well, we'll get there in a minute. All right, let's move on real quick. I got to speed this up here. Skechers. This just doesn't look right to me. S-K-E-C-H-E-R-S. I can't find anywhere where it says has a T. I thought it was S-K-E-T-C-H-E-R-S. Well, I've always been wrong. It was always spelled like this. Looney Tunes. How do you spell tunes? Is it T-U-N-E-S or T-O-O-N-S? Like cartoons. Well, what do you say? I thought it was T-O-O-N-S. That's what I remember. That's what my memory is of what it looked like. Well, you search all the images and you get tunes, like music tunes, Looney Tunes. All the old images, everything's tunes, T-U-N-E-S, everywhere. Search it yourself. What the hell? Different Strokes. Remember that show? Was it different, like D-I-F-F-E-R-E-N-T or D-I-F-F apostrophe R-E-N-T? I don't remember that. Maybe it was this. I just don't remember it looking like that. But you look at all the old images and everything's with apostrophe. Now I'm starting to think, well, maybe it was that, and I just don't remember. Johnny Quest. Any of you watch Johnny Quest? Johnny Quest. Joni? J-O-N-N-Y? That doesn't look right. I remember seeing this cartoon, reruns of it when I was 8, 9, 10. J-O-N-N-Y Quest. I mean, that's what it always was. I hope someone remembers there being an H. All right, let's look at Field of Dreams. If you build it, blank will come. What was it? Do you remember? I remember it being they. Well, if we listen to the movie, it didn't say they.
If you build, he will come.
He will come. Okay? Well, this is just like the Forrest Gump. If you build it, they will come. Well, why'd this person screw it up? If you build it, they will come. Well, why are these people screwing up these famous quotes in the movies? If you build it, they will come. Well, somehow the movie's different, but some of this old artwork or these old memes or whatever, they didn't get changed. So what's going on here? I don't know. Remember Evel Knievel? Was it Evel Knievel or Evil? E-V-I-L? Was he evil? It could have been evil, E-V-E-L. But I remember my brother, I specifically remember this toy when I was like 3 years old. I remember him getting this toy for Christmas right here. And it just says Evel Knievel. Evil, E-V-E-L. I just don't remember it looking like that. It seemed like there was an I there. What do you guys say? We got two more here. Captain Crunch. I remember C-A-P-T-A-I-N. Captain. But when I looked this up, it's C-A-P-apostrophe-N. And apparently has been my whole life. Captain Crunch. Cap'n. I just never noticed that. I never called it Cap'n. Has it always been Cap'n? I thought it was Captain Crunch. Apparently it's always been Cap'n. Here's the last one. And there's a lot more of these. These are just the ones I picked out. Fruit Loops. Here's the old boxes of Fruit Loops. Now here's a person, 2006, put something on YouTube. Well, they didn't know. They spelled it wrong. Kellogg's Fruit Loops cereal commercial 1987. They thought it was F-R-U-I-T like I remember it being. And you'll find that other place here, here's a classic anime Kellogg's Fruit Loops. That's what they wrote because that's what they thought. I thought it was. I don't remember O-O-T. This looks odd to me. Does it look odd to you? I don't know. Something's going on, everyone. And it's continuing. It seems it's starting to speed up. So, I don't know. This is just really crazy. I don't know what to think. There's people that are just poo-pooing it, saying, some people believe in this Mandela Effect theory. It's a conspiracy theory. I don't think it's a conspiracy theory. Yeah, people might be conspiring to change this stuff. Go back and change it and say, you're crazy. It always was this. But it's not a theory, it's an effect. I mean, this has happened. It's not a theory of something. To me, it's happened. It's happened to me. I think a lot of you are going to feel like it's happened to you too. I mean, I think a lot of people just feel uncomfortable, so they find a way to write it off as a conspiracy theory, just like everything else. Even though it's an effect that's happened. So, we could get into a lot of other information, but I'm just going to leave this as for what it is right now, the Mandela Effect. Please leave comments down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. And I'm getting close to 10,000, so I'm kind of excited about that. A lot of my stuff's financial, but I do videos like this